Good morning, my loves. Good morning. I wanted to take this space, wanted to create this space with you to discuss a couple of concepts that have to do with movement, space, and time, and becoming, and remembering that we are swimming in a vast, constantly moving ocean of a universe. And kind of also doing this to remind myself and to remind those who are listening that this is the field of energy that we are dealing with. And there is something really beautiful about being in a human embodiment, being of a human embodiment, and being able to talk about our great mother in this way, being able to talk about our great father in this way, our family, the whole, right? The whole that goes beyond this tertiary existence. So if you are willing and accepting, I would like to engage with some symbolism here and consult the tarot, but also invite this great dynamic force, this ocean, this push and pull to carry forth the narrative, to bring forth and to elucidate the message that I want to share for today. And if there's anything else important that needs to come up, I trust that that will come up as well. So once again, good morning. Wherever this is finding you, thank you for joining me. So right off the bat, we are getting started with a very sticky and heavy energy, and that is the energy of the devil. The devil is the first card to show itself, to show its face here. I have another card face down that I'm not going to look at yet, but now when we're talking about movement and this constant force, this dynamic, I think that the devil might be very relevant for talking about how we tend to get stuck, or this concept of getting stuck. Even though it may feel like we're not moving, it seems sometimes that we're actually caught up in repetitive patterns. We're repeating patterns that ultimately seem to deny us of our own potential for growth, for change, because growth and change demand variability. You're not going to go anywhere if you are circling the same spot, figuratively, metaphorically, or literally. You have to move. You have to continue crossing different paths, going through different pieces of terrain. And I think, we tend to talk about or relate the devil to addictions, to specifically addictions, repeating things or acting out of fear-based thoughts. But, of course, this is an illusion. It's an illusion that we are stuck, or that we are disempowered, or that we, lack. Or perhaps on the flip side, it could be the illusion that we have achieved something that, now puts us at a pinnacle that we never have to go anywhere else, or that we've gained all the power that we could possibly have gained, that we are omnipotent or omniscient, and we don't need to keep growing or learning. And that's kind of how, I guess, he traps you there. But don't be fooled, because in this place you are still spending energy, right? You are still exhausting yourself potentially. In both cases, there is potentially a huge amount of energy spent trying to hold claim to your throne, right? Where in this case is, again, because you can't let go, because you feel for some reason that you must be bound to this space, that you no longer can surrender and keep moving and keep flowing and keep swimming, right? I love the swimming analogy, and I'm sorry to anybody who doesn't quite know how to swim, but maybe, flying or floating or galloping around the land. So, okay, beautiful. So, the card that was yet to be revealed is the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands. Pages, as we know, are very youthful expressions of the element. It is where the human being, the divine human being, the human being maybe potentially is at the beginning stages of learning about the divinity of its element, learning about the power of its element, or the responsibility that comes with the element, or the gifts, or whatever they may be, because responsibility is likewise a gift. So we have the Page of Wands here, and this, to me, seeing these two cards together, this would be talking about the opportunity to, because the page seems a little bit distracted. The page doesn't quite yet want to get caught up in anything. The page is willing and open to learn. It's open to going this way or that way. It's open to going in the direction that it feels most inspired to go. Here in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, this page is adorned in beautiful yellow garments, and like the King of Wands, has some lizards painted around it. Now, if I'm remembering correctly, lizards were symbols and are symbols of death and rebirth, death and resurrection. But to me, they kind of do still have this, like, as any symbol and any animal will carry, they do, you feel that intuitive calling, that intuitive whisper from them, right? And here, again, this page is adorned in yellow and orange robes with yellow shoes, and you can tell that there's such an exuberance here. He's standing in a desert, in a place where there perhaps is not much life or water, and that, I guess, that also goes to the lizard's resilience, right? The ability to withstand incredibly hot conditions. Now compare that to the image that we see in the devil. We see two people with the devil's the devil with the upside down pentagram and its torch burning upside down. The devil, of course, we also relate to in Christian theology, the world of hell, right? The kingdom of hell. And here, I'm getting the sense that even in the most difficult, hot, and strenuous situations, you have the potential to keep going, to transmute that in some way, shape, or form. Of course, everybody to their own ability, but realize that there is a potential. I'm thinking and feeling a need to talk about exercise as well. A need to talk about exercise, especially as we're talking about motion and movement. How many of you truly know how it feels to carry your body, to lift your body from what feels like slow, stagnant trotting to a high, exuberant, heart-pumping dance, right? To be pumping full of hot blood, essentially, to give your body that gift, right? When was the last time that you really felt that? When was the last time that you felt this difference between so many things are coming to my mind. I apologize, but this difference between strenuous exercise of the mind or of the ego, where you're catching yourself up in these loops and you're spending so much energy trying to avoid something or carry burdens that are not your own, versus this other form of strain and exercise that really pushes you through these things, that burns away a lot of that stress. This is so important, and my words feel like they're a little bit scattered all over the place, but I think I want to emphasize the fact that you have the potential. We all have the potential, and I'm holding myself accountable for this. I am supposed to be going to the gym as soon as I finish this. We have the potential to channel our efforts. And if you find yourself letting your efforts get caught up in a storm of fighting against somebody or fighting against something that doesn't leave you stronger or doesn't leave you with, anything learned, I want you to ask yourself if that is really a worthwhile fight. Where does that energy go, right? Because I would ask you if you find yourself feeling depleted after those moments, right? Versus putting in the effort for something that you really care about, which first and foremost could be your body, your mind, your heart, right? Your heart is at the center of this. Can you put in the effort for saving your heart, protecting your heart, invigorating your heart, and protecting you at the same time from repeating these cycles? Because you've already caught up, you're already moving. And you can trust that when you see yourself moving so hard in this direction, that you can trust that you are really truly moving, Let's get two closing cards for these two energies. I know that it can be very comfortable to be a little bit slow or latent with our movement, but I personally have not been feeling like that anymore. I've been feeling like I really need to keep energizing myself, or that it's no longer my avoidance of work that energizes me, but it is the type of work that I get to do and the effort that I get to put into my work that truly does energize me. And I'm really grateful for that, because hard work feels great, and on top of that, you get to see the beautiful things that you create. Creativity takes effort. So, all right, I get the sense that this might be a little bit difficult to work through, but that's okay. And I don't want to say, I suppose I don't want to say that, hold on. I think we tend to cloak ourselves a lot. Looking at all these cards, every character is clothed, except for those pictured in the devil. So part of me wants to take this as, okay, well, create your own narrative. Part of me wants to question whether our understanding of ourselves and how we should be and how we should look, how well that's going to fit the picture for everybody. Right, so when I started this, I didn't really want to talk about anything specific besides motion and staying in motion with the universe, with the ocean, with universal waters, right? With your stream. So everybody's going to have a different vibration. I would be curious for you to play around with that a little bit. See if you can tell the difference between effort, forced effort, and powerful ease. I'm not so sure, because forced effort will still gain, potentially positive results. So it's difficult for me to say. And I hope every reading doesn't turn out this way, because I would like to say something relatively concrete here and there, but again, specific to my audience here. Just keep moving, keep flowing, keep fighting, keep dancing, truly. It's not a fight, it's a dance. Keep dancing, my loves. And thank you for listening.